Hello? Yes, so we're back again with another trading day. Right now, we took a sell based on hitting Asian high. So I'm anticipating the price is going to melt back into the range after hitting Asian high, hopefully, so we can get 5 points. If we're incorrect, we'll be stopped out for a loss at an all-time high or new high. So that might be the case, but I have a feeling that we may go a bit short. Since we hit Asian high, we may go lower. So that's what my thesis is right now. Um, Shorted Asian high, 5 point stop, 5 point target. If we lose, then we move on. But Asian high is where I sold. See if we get um, the outcome we'd like. The OTE levels, we'd be selling back to an OTE level in a sense. Um, so let's see if we can get back down there. But we're selling off Asian high. We've already hit two extensions from the original OTE from London. So I'm trying to see if we can hit Asian high. Go down from Asian high uh, at least 5 points. So down here, and then stop loss we got is 5 points. So we might be able to adjust the stop loss depending on how price action presents. But again, we're targeting $100 or 5 points with 4 contracts here. Let's see if this plays out. Let's just double check the news. See if we have any. I don't believe we have any news drivers. I thought I checked it, but let me just double check it. All right, we have no news. So let's see if this trade works. Selling Asian high, which is a level. With a 5 point target, 5 point stop. Let's see if the trade works out. It may or may not work out. We're just gonna have to wait, be patient, and see. The reason I think it may work, we've got some OTE levels down here. Got a London high right here, so there may be a good reason to draw back to those levels before 9:30. I want to be done trading by 9:15, so I got about a 45-minute time stop in a sense, and then I got the 5 point actual stop on the chart. So we got multiple versions of a stop loss that we're going to be using today. We're going to be taking one trade. Let's see if this trade works. If it doesn't, we'll just close it up and come back tomorrow. Just double check MNQ to see how MNQ looks. So MNQ, we rejected Asian high. 8:30 open just occurred there. Let's see if we can head lower. Let's see, we may not head lower. We may just head higher. So just want to see if that level would work. It may not work. And in that case, we take a small loss for 5 points. So this is not really an OTE trade as I would want for pre-market. This is more of a levels trade because we have an interaction with a level. So I want to see if that level will hold, and then that may give us an opportunity to be a profitable trade for today. But if not, we'll take a small loss, and then we'll move on for tomorrow. It's not looking the best right now. Looks like price is accumulating to go up. We just crossed the Asian high again. Let's see if we melt below or if we're finding support on it. Let's see. Sold Asian high. Let's see if we'll get a melt from here back into the range. On a lower time frame just to see how it's looking. 15-second, 30-second. Still under Asian high. See if we can go lower. Okay, this is looking a bit better. Now what we have to do is we have to inverse this gap right here. This is a fair value gap. We want to inverse that and turn that into an inverse fair value gap so that we have a reason to say, yes, the market is now bearish and it's going to be headed lower. Some people would enter at the 50% of that gap. Some would enter on the retest of that gap. We won't be having any extra entries today. We're just going to be using that to hopefully guide us to the levels. Again, we're targeting about 5 points, which is down here. Let's see if we can get that 5 points off of Asian high sells. 5 points. That's what we're targeting. We're not targeting anything more, nothing less. 5 points. See if we can get to half target. We will go break even just for the safety of the trade. Now we've invalidated that fair value gap. That's a good sign. Hopefully we could just melt lower and not retest it. But even if we retest it, we haven't moved the stops yet, so that's okay. Let's see if we can get to at least 2.5 points profit, and then we can adjust from there. See if we'll go lower. I think we should. Melted below Asian high. Let's see if we can get back down into the range. This range here. Let's see if we can get back down into it. So if we're looking at this range going up, and we're saying, okay, where's the possible exits? 50% level is right there where the $100 target is, so that would be perfect. So I'll just leave that target as is, 5 points. We're hitting that inverse gap, like I said. Let's see if we reverse. That's the goal. Hopefully we reverse off of it, and that sends us down. See if we get the rejection we need from that inverse gap. We don't want to see us find support here. We want to see us head lower. Let's see if we'll head lower. All right, we don't have to, but that's the goal. The reason being, the target we have is the 50% level of this whole bullish push up. There are OT levels that are untapped. Let's see if we can get at least 50% of the bullish push up for a winning trade on the day. See if we melt lower because of that gap. What is NQ doing? NQ looks, oh, that's DXY. NQ is below 830 open. It looks bearish. It looks like it's in an inverse gap as well, right here. So potentially that might be a good sign for ES. All right. So let's see if these inverse gaps hold up. If they don't, we'll get stopped for a loss. If they do, we should be getting closer to target. Sorry, I have to fix this. Inverse fair value gap there. OTE. Excuse me. This one still looks like it's holding up. This inverse gap on ES at $50 profit or 2.5 points profit. I'll go break even. So you can get a quick melt lower, so we can go break even faster. Come on, let's see. And all that can happen with us still technically being bullish, because 50% of the bullish push up, if it respects that 50, we can still be in a bullish trend, and this all that I'm in could just be a retracement. But based on us hitting a level, I wanted to take that trade. I hadn't seen any clean OTEs that I could take, so use the level to take a trade, and then let's see if we can, get our profit out of it. Let's see. Want to see us melt lower if we can. We're staying under the inverse gap for now, so that could be a really good sign. Let's hope that we keep pushing lower. Retested the gap again. We're on 2 minute. Let's go to the 1 minute. Hopefully this inverse gap holds up to send price down. We sold based on Asian high. Some people could be selling based on the inverse gap. My target is down here at 6911.75. That's right around the 50% level. So regardless, I'll be break even once we get close to that. So if we don't actually hit it, I'll probably just close manually. I need to kind of hop off the charts by 9:15. So they also have a time stop. So within about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, I would have to get out the trade regardless. So let's make sure that we get at least break even before that 5 to 10 minute mark that's left. We're staying below the gap. I hope that's a good sign. DXY is shooting up. I don't know if that means the other stuff should be shooting down or not sure. I'm hoping this inverse gap holds up. Looks like on ES we've returned back to, see where we are. We're back in the gap on ES, unfortunately. Hopefully we go lower. The volume imbalance that we went into. So maybe we reject out that volume imbalance right here. Label it VI for volume imbalance. The style, make a different color. Label it like that. So volume imbalance. Price reacted out of it. That could be a really good sign. So confident in that. Let's see. See if we can get down to that 50% level for the 5 points. Back into the overall range that we shot up from. We may or we may not. That's why stop loss is in place. Okay, we're back in that volume imbalance. Not really liking that, but let's see. Don't like that at all. We took the inverse gap. I don't like that. Hopefully we close back under it. Oh, looks like we may have taken the gap. It's not a good sign. But it could be hitting the OTE sell level, which our stop loss is behind the highs anyway, so we wouldn't get stopped if they hit those levels. But um, that may be what it's doing. What is NQ doing? NQ is back in its inverse gap. Let's see if it sends it down. Hoping to be sent down. It's not looking good here. We were never up to 50, so I never went break even. I think we were up like 34, 35 max. But again, we have the stop loss, so if we take a small loss, that'll be the loss for the day. If we take a small win, that'll be the win for the day. Let's see if we can melt below this level. Not looking good. Going back towards Asian highs. I would hope that we would stay below it so I can get my 5 points. So this is not good. Let's look at the other stuff. DXY hit a level maybe it'll reverse from. NQ is still in its inverse gap. That could be a good sign. See if, okay, maybe we hit the OTE level on ES, so maybe that's all we need to hit to melt. Okay, let's see if this goes down. See if it goes down. I think it should. So we don't want to use these support. We want to see price break through these levels again. Let's see if we will break through them. But technically, we hit the OTE of the sell-off. Hopefully, that actually sends us down, which will also be a good note-taking thing, so that we can possibly pay attention to taking that OTE sell instead next time if we don't have the level. But okay, we're at the bottom of that inverse gap. I want to see expansion past it. Otherwise, it may be used as support. So let's see if we can go below these levels or this these PD arrays. So the inverse gap and then the volume imbalance that's there. Looks like we're opening up below them. It's a good sign. Okay, once we pass this low here, I'll probably go break even because at this point, if it goes back again, I don't really want to lose the full sizing. So let's see if we can get below those levels and then we'll go break even. Again, the reason being why we are comfortable with that is because if you mark this up, OTE level right here. So OTE plus breaker, you could say, because there's a breaker right there. There's also a fair value gap. So if you want to mark it off, you could be like OTE plus fair value gap. Then I remove this. Then that's the OTE level that was used on that sell. If you took it here, if I took it also here, so it's about the same entry anyway. Same 5-point stop. I'm using 5-point stops. Let's see if we can take that low and then we can go break even. That would be sweet. What is NQ doing? NQ is, oh, it's already rejected its inverse gap very heavily, so that's good. ES, come on, let's take these equal lows and target that 50% level down here. Let's see if we can get there. Up about 1.25 points. Let's see. Got about 30 minutes left to actively be trading before I have to leave. So let's see if we can get probable trade. I mean, let's see if the probabilities play in our favor and we stay below this volume imbalance, we stay below this inverse gap, and we head lower to the 50% region, which we don't have to do, but I would like us to do. So let's see if we do it. We're tapping back into the volume imbalance, hopefully that we can stay below it. See if we can pop below all these levels. If not, we get stopped, we get stopped, we get stopped. But I do want to go break even once we go below that red line. Let's see if we can go below that red line. We might not. Okay, we gap down a bit. Just that little 1 minute opening. See if it means anything. Okay, we filled the gap. Let's see if that we can go lower after filling the gap. Okay. Okay, we're getting closer to where we might go break even. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my stop down to right above these highs. So if we flashed hit these highs, I won't lose as much as I would have lost in a sense because I don't want it to flash hit those highs. I don't believe price should be shooting back up in that manner. So I'm just lowering the stop. So if we lose less, and then if we lose less overall, like that's part of the system. We gotta just lose in a better format in a sense. So we've adjusted the risk to where if we lose $30 at the highs, but We're near these equal lows right here, so I want to sweep them and then go break even. But if we shoot back up to the highs, we'll just take the loss because at this point I don't want to shoot past the highs. That would invalidate most of the things that I've been talking about. So I'm not looking to do that. And if we do that, I don't mind losing a point and a half um, to mitigate the risk because we haven't shot down to the target. So if I lose a smaller percentage in a trade that was a bit stagnant, I'm fine with that, and that would be the last trade for the day. Um, I wouldn't consider it choking the stop because just of how stagnant the trade has been, and we haven't been at that level. So if we get to that level, that's a bad sign. And if it's a bad sign, I'd rather lose a smaller amount than a larger amount. Um, let's see, what is NQ doing? NQ is sweeping lows in a sense, or equal lows. So let's see if we can keep sweeping more equal lows and heading deeper into the range. Let's see. We're not break even yet, but we're only risking a point and a half. We cut out 4.5 points of risk. That's good. Or excuse me, 3.5 points of risk. That's good. Let's see if this goes lower. I think it should go lower based on everything that I'm anticipating this 50% level down here of this overall bullish range to be hit. This is an OTE hit. This was a level hit. So we're looking to go lower. That's the overall perspective. I'm hopeful that we will expand lower. Let's see. How can I switch this to points? How can I switch this to points? I want to make it SC points instead. Show order price and points. Next trading, buy sell button, buckets, money, positions, ticks. Let's go with ticks. Okay, so worst case scenario, we're targeting 20 ticks. We're up 6 ticks right now. Our stop loss is 6 ticks now, so the risk is reduced. Once we break past that red line, I would lower the stop loss even more. Let's see if this trade will play out. We're at these equal lows that I wanted to cover at. So what I'll do is I will, once we close below it, okay, we're pretty close. I'm just gonna drag the stop now. Okay, so now we're break even on this trade. So if we lose, it would be a break even trade. And the reason I'm doing this simply because at this point I don't want to go back and retest the highs for this trade to play out. We got about 25 to 30 minutes left, halfway to target. So I'm not trying to have us go all the way back to where we were in order to know that this trade is wrong, if that makes sense. So just protecting it with break even at this point because I'm expecting us to melt lower. Now, if we shoot up because we swept equal lows, but at least we'll be stop break even, and that's better than a full size loss just to figure out that you're wrong. So let's see if this will melt lower because I said once we get to the red line, I would go break even. So we're break even. Can we get lower? Come on, let's see a continuation lower so we don't have to get stopped out. But the risk is off the table in a sense, so if you get stopped out, that was a sign the trade wasn't playing out. Just based on where we currently are in the trade, I wouldn't want us to go all the way back to entry again, considering that we've already done that at least 5 times. I don't want to do that again. Now, this might be a loss or a break-even hit if this doesn't play out, but I just got to protect the downside of possibly losing money before I focus on making too much money. So let's see if we can if this will play out. Now, if it shoots right up to it and then melts, so be it. It'll be a lesson to study and journal. But at this time, just in how stagnant this trade has been going, it's like I want to do my best to objectively make a decision to not allow the trade to then take me for a loss. Because we don't have to shoot to the 50%. That's just the goal. You know, this trade, if we're bullish for the day, it can just shoot up. So I'm just protecting my interests because I basically was reversal trading in a sense because we're going up. Just protecting the trade to see if it'll work. I think it will. It's got to be patient. Let it play. Should see expansive movement to hit this lows if we do go. Almost as if this is just going to be a wick. That's what I'm expecting. See if it melts lower. What is NQ doing? Well, DXY is just shooting up. NQ is going a little bit lower. YM is going a bit lower. ES is kind of going a bit lower, but struggling at that low. All right, let's see if we get what we need. We may not, but if we do, it's a great sign. Already tapped the level. We had an OTE tap, so that could have been our entry if we hadn't got in earlier. Price is going against us. May get stop break even. Hit the volume imbalance again. I mean the inverse gap again. Yep, it stopped me break even on certain accounts. This one I'll just close it. Okay, so we'll just flatten it there. We'll call it a wash trade for the day. Order filled. Not a loss, but not no any type of win. Um, just a break even on the day. Didn't really secure much, but it's okay. Just gotta honor the trading situations, honor the trade, and just follow it how I said I'll follow it. So we'll take the break even on account of the fact that we were just so stagnant. Um, so nothing to be excited about. Pre-market pretty choppy, not the best. So that'll be that. Um, I think I'm just gonna stick on here for about 5 to 10 more minutes just to look at it. But pre-market. Let's see if we melt. I don't think we will though, but we could. And the feedback from that would just be like honor your stop a bit better. But in the same, you know, in the same time, like already ran back to my entry once, so I don't want to keep running back to the entry to prove that it's gonna run. I felt like it should have had some conviction going down, but we reversed the gap again, so that could be a good sign. See if it melts off. And we don't catch it. At least we showed up. We analyzed. Is it gonna go lower? It could. Could go lower. Yeah, it could go lower. But won't break even a little bit too quick. Or not even that I went break even too quick. My break even was a little bit too tight on one, so like I just let it get hit, and then the other ones I just closed it. But we're in a little consolidation or channel of consolidation anyway, so it's not even like it's obvious. Just you have to be patient to say if you're gonna wait through all that. I didn't like how after we swept the equal lows, we ran back up. To me, I wanted to see us, continue lower aggressively, but yeah, pre-market kind of it's not as volatile as I'm used to. I was expecting, expansion in a certain kind of way, and without that, I just don't feel comfortable sitting in the trade for too long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, what I'll do is I will hop off of this stream for now, and and yeah, I think I'll hop off the stream for now because there's nothing else I'm gonna do. Kind of want to just wait to see if he would invalidate all those levels that I have. I'll do 5 more minutes. Uh, my instincts were a bit correct in a sense. Like we ran back up. I didn't want it to do that, so that's why I protected downside. But if you only think about it in terms of maximum profit the trade was in, you probably think, oh wait, you let all that money go. It's like no, I just protected the capital. We took a trade. We preserved the day, so we didn't lose capital. Trade didn't fully play out anyway, so it's not like everything that was said is so relevant and true. Look, price is expanding higher, striking Asian high again, but we're above Asian high now, so would have been stopped regardless. I'm proud that I was at least able to read that and have rules that I followed. So I said, if this and this happens, then I won't do this and this. So that's the key. There's an inverse gap there potentially. I'm gonna form. Well, this is the 1 minute right here, so can't see any of that. But on the 15 second, you can see some stuff. This is the hard part about trading pre-market. Not gonna lie to you. Volatility just isn't there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's nothing. I'm just glad I preserved my capital on that counter trend trade in a sense. It didn't work out, so I'm glad I didn't waste my capital. I could have maybe took half to target, but I can't be worried about leaving anything on there, just other than protecting the risk, and I did, and it worked out that I protected the risk. So, got to do some studying just to see how I could have maybe performed a bit better there, but in all reality, it's pretty cut dry. Sold the level, didn't work. Came back to the OT level, didn't work. That's a pig. Put it on the duck. Sheep. You put it on the quiz. Pig. But it makes sense. DXY was shooting up, and how does that even correlate with this? I think they all kind of go the same direction in a sense. So once DXY was shooting up, I should have anticipated we were going to be shooting up. I mean, that's why I was just hesitant about the trade in general. So the goal is to just be consistent in the approach. That's all. Show up consistently in the approach, and then be okay. Hey, afola, afola, happy. No, 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 no. All right, bye everybody.